In the royal palace of Great Wei, the emperor is sick. The people are worried what will happen if he dies. The crown prince is cold and sickly. Will he be able to care for the people? In the Jade Pavilion, the first prince, Kunlun, plays a solitary game of chess. His maid rushes in and whispers something to him. He nods. Make a cup of tea. Concubine Yan, the prince's mother, enters immediately after the maid leaves. Mother, he says quickly, rising from his seat. You should have sent for me. Why did you come yourself? I'm already here, she replies, glancing around the room. You can take your seat. He returns to his seat in silence. You know why I'm here, she says, settling at the other end of the board and moving a chess piece. Your father's death is almost inevitable. You need to be by his side. This is your opportunity to make him confer the title of Crown Prince upon you. That sickly child can't rule, not over you, not over us, not over this kingdom. Mother, I know what I am doing, he replies calmly, shifting a piece of his own. There's no need to rush. Of course you're always calm and calculated, but I can't help but remind you the Empress is gradually taking over the court. She will make sure her son is crowned. Our future in this palace is at stake, she says, gently moving another of her pieces. Just then, the maid enters quietly, carrying a jar and 2 cups. She bows to Concubine Yan before proceeding to pour the tea. Have some tea, mother, Kunlun says, gesturing toward the cup being filled. She sighs and accepts the filled cup with a graceful nod. Far from the palace walls, Crown Prince Jinhai stands at the second-floor window of a tea house, his eyes fixed on the bustling street below. At his side is a silent maid and a loyal guard with a worried expression. Your Highness, we should head back to the palace. It's time for your medicine, the maid says politely. The prince raises his hand, signaling her to stay quiet. His eyes narrow, fixated. Who is she? Who? The guard asks, scanning the crowd below. The lady in pink, he replies impatiently. The maid steps forward, hesitating. She? Yes, she, he presses, his face forming a frown. The maid lowers her gaze. That is Juan May, concubine, Yan's niece. He narrows his eyes, repeating the name, Juan May. Feng Rui, he calls sharply. The guard steps forward. Your Highness. Find out something for me, he says, leaning in to whisper a few words. Understood. With a swift bow, Feng Rui vanishes into the bustling crowd below. Your Highness, you! The maid starts to speak but decides against it. Back to the palace, the prince says quietly, brushing past her. She nods silently and follows behind. At the Yan family residence, Juan May wears a pale blue dress that hugs her frame plain but well made. A thin belt sits at her waist and her hair is tied neatly with a silk ribbon. Has father returned? She asks as her maid gently arranges her hair. Not yet, my lady. He seems to frequent the palace more these days, Juan May says softly, tapping lightly on her dressing table before rising. Come with me, I want to see my mother. The maid nods and follows her. Lady Fua sips from a delicate glass as Juan May enters hurriedly. She sets the glass down with a sigh and shakes her head. I've told you before, Juan May, a young lady of noble birth must carry herself with dignity. One must remain composed at all times. But you don't behave like a noble lady at all. Mother, I don't care about those things. Rules feel like chains. As long as I can serve you and father, I won't mind anything else, she says, settling beside her mother. You are just like your father, Lady Fua sighs. Character is everything for a young lady. I truly don't know how else to make you understand. Mother, I understand, but could we not talk about this today? Mother, I wish to accompany father to the palace. Please grant me permission, Juan May says softly. Lady Fua stands slowly, her maid stepping forward to assist her. Her voice is calm but firm. Is that truly necessary? You may go wherever you want, except the palace. I've told you this before. But you've never told me why, Juan May replies, her voice sharper than intended as she rises. Lady Fua pauses, her face unreadable. Fine, you can go, but don't stray too far from your father. Thank you, mother. Get some rest, I'm leaving, Juan May says, hopping away in excitement. Lady Fua watches her daughter disappear through the doorway, her gaze lingering. She is nothing like me, she murmurs to no one in particular, moving toward her bed. In the quiet orchid courtyard, concubine Jiang sits in a plain robe, her long hair bound with a jade pin. Beside her, Princess Chuan Hua carefully stirs a bowl of dark herbal medicine. "Mother," the princess says, brow furrowed, "I really don't want to get married right now, especially not to Shao Palace Prince Li Fan. He's rude, cold. I just want to stay here and take care of you." Concubine Jiang smiles faintly, stroking her daughter's hair. "Silly girl, didn't your father already say you won't be married off? Why are you still anxious?" But they've made it clear, haven't they? They'll only exchange the medicine for father's health if I agree to the marriage. Chuan Hua murmurs, lowering her gaze as she places the warm bowl in her mother's hands. Concubine Jiang accepts the medicine with quiet grace, sipping slowly. "Your brother is handling these matters," she says. "Let us trust in his ability, Huar. Even the crown prince is involved. You are a precious one. How could we send you off like this?" The princess nods slowly, a small smile on her face. "I'm heading out for a bit. You should rest, mother." In the Imperial Hall of Great Wei, tension is thick. Ministers in muted gray and brown robes stand in stiff lines, their expressions unreadable. Empress Zhou sits on the high platform beneath the golden dragon canopy, dressed in full regalia. With the emperor's health failing, she has assumed control of court affairs. Her gaze is cool, commanding. She waits for silence before she speaks. "I have reviewed several memorials," she says calmly, opening a scroll. "Most speak of the famine and unrest in the northern provinces. The situation has persisted for months." She sets the scroll aside and looks up. "I am considering sending the crown prince to personally oversee relief efforts and restore peace." Murmurs ripple through the hall. Finally, a senior minister steps forward and bows. "Your Majesty, the crown prince's health is not stable. This task may not be suitable for him. I beg you to reconsider." Empress Zhou's eyes narrow. "You think the crown prince is too weak?" The minister hesitates. "Not at all, Your Majesty, but perhaps Prince Kunlun would be more suitable." Empress Zhou leans back, expression unreadable. "Prince Kunlun, you say?" Before she continues, a voice rises from the left side of the court. "I believe Prince Jun is a better choice," a younger official says. More ministers murmur in agreement. Soon, the hall buzzes with divided voices, some backing Kunlun, others Jun. Division seeps into the court like smoke. Empress Zhou surveys them all with cold silence. In the emperor's chamber, the scent of herbs lingers. The old emperor slowly sips his medicine, hands trembling. Prince Jun kneels by his side, eyes full of concern. "How did the court meeting go?" the emperor asks. "The empress has everything under control. You don't have to worry," Jun replies smoothly. The emperor nods, setting the bowl aside. "These days, I feel stronger, thanks to your care. Father, you're blessed by the heavens. You still have many years ahead." The emperor chuckles weakly, then looks at Jun. "You've always seemed more kind-hearted than your brothers." Yun sits beside him. "It's thanks to your guidance and mother's teachings." The emperor pauses. "And the crown prince? What is he up to these days?" "He doesn't do much," Jun says calmly. "He seems uninterested in politics. Perhaps it's time to consider Kunlun as crown prince. Jinhai only wishes for peace." The emperor's gaze sharpens. "He told you that?" Jun hesitates. "No, but..." The emperor cuts him off with a wave. "You don't." A eunuch's voice interrupts from outside. Consort Yan arrives. Jun rises with a bow. "I'll take my leave." As he exits, he nods at Consort Yan, who brushes past him in silence. "Your Majesty," she says gently, helping the emperor sit upright and handing him a fresh bowl. He drinks slowly. "What's on your mind?" he asks. "You always act like you care about my feelings," she begins, then her tone hardens. "But you made her empress and her son the crown prince. After all these years, what have I gained?" The emperor sighs. "What is it this time, Yan?" "I never asked to be empress," she says, voice rising. "But Kunlun deserves the crown. That's the least I deserve." "You dote on concubine Jiang and her children," she adds bitterly. "Kunlun and I live like ghosts in this palace. Is that fair?" The emperor adjusts slowly, unreadable. "I know you feel wronged, but I have always loved you most, and Kunlun, I only want him to live freely." "You say that to soften me," she snaps. "My son is bold, calm, and worthy. yet you choose that sickly boy over him." The emperor's gaze hardens. She drops to her knees. "Your Majesty, please forgive my words. My heart is heavy." Tears brim as she bows low. In the eastern wing, Crown Prince Jinhai sits at a low table surrounded by delicate snacks. Opposite him, Princess Chuanhua beams. "You brought so much today," he says, lifting a pastry. "To what do I owe this favor?" "This is a thank you gift," she says, "for always looking out for me. Even my marriage is on hold thanks to you." He takes a bite. "You've always cared for me. Compared to that, I've done little. Thank you, Hua Heir." She smiles brightly. "Let me check your pulse." She touches his wrist gently. After a pause, she smiles. "Your condition is stable." He returns the smile just as Feng Rui enters and bows. Chuanhua rises. "I'll visit father. Enjoy your snacks." She leaves as Feng Rui steps forward. "Your Highness," he begins. Juan May is the daughter of Lady Fua and Minister Yan. She visited the palace twice as a child, but never again. Jinhai waves for him to continue, chewing calmly, his face unreadable. A faint breeze stirs the orchids. In the orchid courtyard, Prince Jun plays chess with consort Jiang. She moves a piece. "You seem to have no interest in the throne," she says gently. Jun doesn't look up. "Mother, I'm content. You know my temper. I'm not fit to be emperor." She rises slowly, her expression shifting fondness, anxiety, calculation. "But if your father dies, can we truly live in peace?" "You think too much," he replies. "No matter who becomes emperor, I won't panic." She stares at him, then shakes her head. "You don't understand anything at all. What is concubine Jiang hiding? What's the emperor really thinking about Kunlun? And why is Lady Fua so opposed to Juan May's visit to the palace?" Find out soon.